Hey everybody, Curtis from BitMerge here. In this video, we're going to talk about setting up a VPS with DigitalOcean. So to start out, let's log in and create a new droplet. Now I'm going to choose CentOS 7 for my server. CentOS is built mainly for businesses and stability. If you're a beginner to Linux, I would start with something like Ubuntu and just get comfortable with it. But since I'm going to be doing a little bit more with VPNs and web servers with this series, I'm going to start with CentOS. Now, I would also start with $5 a month. The great thing about DigitalOcean is it's scalable. So if you want to host a web server, for example, or a VPN, $5 a month is great. And if your needs if you have greater needs, for example, more users are connecting to your web server, you can always upgrade in the future. So I would start with $5 a month. And now this next part is really important. So if you're hosting something like a VPN, you're going to want to choose the data center closest to where you're going to be accessing it from. So if you're going to be accessing it from home, and you live on the East Coast of the United States, you would choose something like New York. If you're going to be accessing it from work, which might be across the country or it might be in another country, you're going to want to choose the data center closest to where you're going to be accessing it from. Now, if you're going to be hosting something like a web server, you're going to want to choose the data center closest to where your users are going to be. Now, I understand you don't always know where your users are going to be, but for example, let's say you're hosting a forum for people for the Netherlands, you're going to want to choose, for example, a server in Amsterdam, whether you live in the United States or not, because you want your users to have the fastest connection to your server. But I live on the East Coast, so I'm going to choose New York 3. And finally, if you haven't seen the bash video yet, go ahead and check that out. I'll put a link in the description. But we're going to open up a bash shell here in Windows, and I'm going to use a command called ssh keygen-t for type, and I'm going to use ECDSA, which is elliptical curve digital signature algorithm. It's going to ask where we want to save this to. This is fine, just click enter. I'm not going to set up a passphrase, you can just click enter to skip this. And it's going to create the key. Now to access the key, we're going to go to cd/home/ your username /.ssh. And I'm going to cat the ID ecdsa.pub. Now what you can do is you can copy this key here. And actually, I'll copy it this way just to make sure. And we're going to add a new SSH key and paste it into the SSH key content here. You should see a check mark if it's a valid key. And then you can name this key. So I'm going to name it Curtis because this is going to be the key for this computer. Now, once you've done that, you're going to choose a host name. I'm going to name this just test client for now, or test server for now. And we'll add a tag web server or something like that. You can add tags to identify it in the future and add some nice firewall rules. For now, we'll leave it at that, and I'm going to create it. And this should take just a few seconds, maybe 60 seconds to set up, and once that's done, we'll be right back. Okay, great. That was very quick. Now the IP address, so what we're going to do is we're going to copy this IP address, and we're going to, let's clear this here, and now we can type SSH, we're going to SSH into the root, and we're going to paste this IP address in. And it looks like it's not quite ready to connect yet, so there we go. Now it's ready. It's gonna. Are you sure you want to continue connecting? You're gonna add this. You're gonna add this to your cache, and once you type yes, you should be right in. So you're not gonna need to enter a password because we already added the SSH key. And now you can go on to do stuff like setting up uses and all that. So one thing I usually like to do is I like to update first. So I'm going to do a yum update. Yum is the package manager for CentOS. And it's going to update the file system really quick. And you can type yes. Now once that's complete, we're going to do a yum upgrade, and that's going to remove all the old dependencies for us. And since we already updated it, and since it's a new server, there was nothing to remove, but just make sure you do that just to see. And that's it for this video. In the next video, we'll talk about some more advanced setup, setting up firewall stuff, setting up time server synchronization. But for now, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.